Now, every student go to the teacher's website, go to the Python, the application of Python artificial intelligence in business forecasting. Today that I want to teach you the chapter 5, Python artificial intelligence, simple 3 steps programming, the 13 best exercise. And now you open the example 4-3 using scikit-learn module. The simple 3 steps to build a KNN, the care nearest neighbors model to predict customer value in CRM. And first of all, you must to understand the outline of the the content of the data. So you go to our practice 1 here to execute a command to import a file. And after you to import the file, you can find you can find that this is we have several columns for the 顾客编号、性别 and the RFN and also the customer's value. And now I want to explain what is the RFM. This is the 3 important data of the customer, including R recency, F frequency, and M monetary. For the R means recency of the last consumption. For the F is the frequency of consumption. And the M is the monetary value of consumption. And we can use these 3 parameters RFN to predict to have a relation with the customer value. For example, this girl, he buy our company's product before the 586 days ago, and the frequency is once, and the money, the consumption's money is the 1380. So this goal is not very important to our company. So the value is low. And for this guy that here, he buy our product just before the 75 days ago, and he buy twice, and total money is 2,850. This goal is important to our customer, our company. So the value is high. So now I want to use the AI to learn this data and do the prediction. So for the second exercise, we must to finish the simple 3 steps. Step 1 is first to establish a mathematical model, KNN model. This model is the K neighbor classifies, and the K value is 6. And this algorithm is just inside just inside the neighbors this 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 classification, this types of the scikit-learn. So now I delete the code and now I just to write the command for myself, the scikit-learn, and I use the neighbor. So how about that I just to I use okay, because that I so I have better not use this, right? I use the other one to I just to copy of our title of here and go to the other website to video this again. And don't forget, I now the example is example 5-3. Don't forget to connect to the server. And for the practice one, to run this and to insert the code cell. For this code cell that I write this scikit-learn for the sk hello scikit. Inside here we have a neighbor, and I call this as MB. I use MB to find KNN classify of this. Inside here, you must know we have n neighbors, and the n neighbor is the 5. But now I use the 6, right? So I use the 6. And I call of this algorithm as model. I import this. And here this is the step 1. Then I will do the step 2. Let the model to learn the historical data. So I insert the cell code, and now I write. I use this model to learn fit. Don't forget the X and Y. X is the uppercase, so here is multi-column. Y is the lowercase. This means 1 column. Because X is okay, I use it of this as this. Don't forget to delete because we only have 2 中刮弧 and I 逗点后面 entered. Y is the other one is 客户价值分数. So I let this to learn. And after this, I will do the step 3, make the prediction. I will make a prediction. And now we have IFN is 5 days, two times, and the money is $2,100. So I insert a cell code to do this as a model.predict. Predict what? That is the second. This is a multi-column, right? So this is data frame. And we have the 5 days 2 times and the 2,100. And I make the prediction this is low. But now I want to get the value of this D. How could I do this? Because this is array 矩阵, right? And this is a false value over here. So I want to get the first value that is 0. Okay, D. Okay, this is correct one. And now here we have, because that this is array is a little difficult, so I must do a simple understanding for the array's matrix. Okay, I execute the df. This is our df, and then I will show this customer over here, and then I transfer to this series to the array. The method is import numpy as np. Use np to do array. Use the df 客户编号 and the answer is this. You will translate this array. I call this as ARR1. I show the ARR1. And then I transfer this array into the data frame. How could I transfer the AR1 into the? I use the pandas as PD. Use the PD for the data frame for the AR1, and then I can get this as the transfer into the data frame. Here, this is our conclusion. Every student, you have 10 minutes, 2 minutes to practice this and to pay attention our own conclusion. Now we will do the next example. Is the example 5-4 to build a logistic regression model to predict the customer and value in CRM. Connect to our Google server. First, we will to find our data, the content of our data. And you can find this data is or we can find the data is also the RFN to the customer's value score, right? So now we will use our AI. We have a 3-step AI to read to build a mathematical model first, and then to let the model to learn the historical data, and also to make some prediction. 3 steps. Now we will do our first step. The first step, let the algorithm is logistic regression. This is belong to some classification of inside this scikit-learn. We have some classification for the linear model. So now we will delete this and we will write import the AI's module is scikit-learn. We have the linear model. We call this a lim, and we use this lim to find an algorithm called logistic regression. Logistic regression. Here it is. And we call this as our model. Here is our first step. And then we let the model to learn the historical data. Okay, we delete the command of here. We will use this our model to learn. Don't forget X and Y. X is the uppercase, so that is multi-columns. Y is one column, so that is lowercase. DF, we want to okay, we come here and to copy of this RFM. And don't forget to use this as double quotation of this. And here we have double quotation, copy of this. And here we have a Y. Y is DF 客户价格 the customer value score. And then here we have some error here, right? We can find, okay, here we must to delete the IFM. Maybe I forget IFM, okay. And I execute command again. And then I do make some prediction. I do the prediction is like here. Model dot prediction For the RFM, because this is a multi-dimensional data frame, so here we have the 52210. The answer is low. The value of this common is low value. Okay, here is our second example. Now, every student, you have 5 minutes to practice of this. If you have any question, take your notebook to come here to ask me. Now we will do next example is 5-5. To build a decision tree model to predict the iris data set. So don't forget to connect to the server, and we will find our data set content. After we read over this, we can find, okay, this is the flowers parameter. We have 4 flowers parameter, and we also have this for the his kind of this flower. But you must to understand that for the AI, we must to transfer the value, to transfer the text into the value. AI, the calculation for the AI, all the data is the number, not the text. So we use this command of replace to replace some value to some value. So now I use the df for this, and then I will transfer into the df2. df2 replace from setosa into 0, and then we can find the data is this. Okay, I must to show the df2. And the second that I want to verticolor to number 1 to replace over here, replace as 1, and then second that I will replace to replace something to the 2. The 2 is Virginica. Here of this value Virginica to here. Okay, replace. So now the df2 is the value, the number of the type, the kind of the flower. And then I will use 3 steps to do the AI. First is I must to build a mathematical model. And you know this mathematical model this is the decision tree. It belongs to some classification of the tree. Okay, so now I write the command of the import scikit-learn. Here we have the tree. We call this as tr. We use tr to find. We have the decision tree classification. I call this as a model. Input model. And then step 2, I will let the model to learn the historical data. So I delete of this to learn the data fit. And the x is the multi-column, right? So it's df 2-dimensional data. And this data is what? That is here 花瓣长度、花瓣宽度。And I do of this as double quotation of here and the double quotation of here and the double quotation of here. And after this is x, right? Multi-column. And y is the one column df. We use this as the 品种. Learn the data like here. And then I will do the predict. Predict for the value of this. Okay. Now I do the predict. Model predict for the 2-dimensional of this, and I copy of this. Copy of this to make some predict. Okay, this is Virginica, right? And inside the value, this is the Virginica, like here. Okay, but this is not okay. Here that I learn that is not correct. I must to learn from the df2. df2 that is, and I do the prediction that is 2. But I must to understand the test title of the flower kind. So I should transfer to this to this the kind of this flower. How could I do this? I use the if if this is equal 0, if this is equal 0, I will print that this is the setosa. Else if model predict, okay, this and I copy of this equal 1, then I will print this is versicolor, and I copy of this. If this is 2, I will print of this. That is versicolor 品种。So now every student that you have 5 minutes to practice this. Okay.